Hi everyone, today let's talk about the debt bill getting passed, then we'll go over the economic calendar, then we'll go over the charts, then we'll go over my results for the day and my thoughts going into tomorrow's session. Then we'll go over my results for the day and my thoughts going into the Monday session. If you like trading stocks and options and making money, definitely like and subscribe. I make videos like this every single day that the markets are open as well as Sundays, so make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Welcome to the Portfolio Bulletin. Let's get started. Looking at the debt ceiling bill, the Senate passed it, which means it's going to the president's desk, and I'm sure he will sign it, and therefore we will not have a default. They once again said the same things as yesterday. No one gets everything they want in a negotiation. They have to make some kind of concessions to come to an agreement, and it did pass 63 to 36, getting over that 60 vote margin needed to avoid the filibuster. A surprising amount of Republicans did vote against it at 31, and only 17 GOP senators supported the bill, as opposed to 4 Democrats and Bernie Sanders, the independent, who voted against it. Overall, not too bad. Republicans wanted a little bit more concessions. We just didn't quite get there, but of course, we are trying to not sink the entire country, and it seems like they did do that. Moving over to the economic calendar, you can see non-farms coming in higher than expected. We talked about that potentially being the case based on the ADP non-farms. I think the bigger news here was actually that the unemployment rate hit 3.7, a significant step up from 3.4, and worse than expected at 3.5. So big step up towards that unemployment rate getting into the 4.5s, which is what the Fed predicted. And usually that is the first step when you start to see a recession coming on. We've seen negative economic factors for a while now, but the unemployment rate has stayed low, and it seems like this is going to go lower here now. And it seems like we're starting to see that unemployment rate go higher. Moving over to the charts here, you can see we got above that 421.85 level, rallied straight up to that next level at 428.59, ran right through this zone, very aggressive. S&P's making a solid run. We're now at another key resistance. We'll see if we can continue to rally here. We're definitely extended off of the 9-day moving average, which is down at 418.49. Definitely a big move higher. Not a ton of volume on it, which is interesting. Most of the volume came on that doji day down here at the 9 EMA. Momentum still very bullish. RSI still very bullish. We do have trend resistance sitting just about $2 above where we are right now, but we're above this shorter term trend line, and we're still very bullish going into Monday's session. Moving over to the NASDAQ here, you can see not nearly as bullish. Did rally a little bit, got above my level. We're now in this 353.20 level, up to 356.80. Above that, I have 360.97. But you can see we're stuck in the zone, still extended, still very bullish. Momentum and RSI still very bullish. But we did start to see a little bit of a fade in momentum on the shorter time frames. We'll see if that continues into the Monday session. Maybe we see a little bit of a pullback. 353.20 will be that key level if we start to see that break down. Maybe we see another 2% of downside or so, similar to what we saw after we hit this level and then sold off back down to this zone. Break down, get back here. That would be very interesting. But overall, still everything is very bullish. Moving over to the Russell and the Dow, you can see both of these went up quite a lot today. Russell broke a bunch of levels. It got above my 180.85 level. Now we have a lot of room up to these next trend resistance areas of 185.73. I'll be looking in here to see if there's some key levels between where we are now and 189. I'm sure that there are. We've just been stuck in this zone for quite a while, and I haven't really looked in here. I'll definitely go over that in the Sunday video. Moving over to the Dow, you can see we're just below that 339.11 area. We got above trend resistance, got up to 335.91, and then cut straight through that level. We're now back in this zone here. If this turns out to be a bull flag and this is starting to rally here, this could go a lot higher. That would be very interesting. 339.11 is my next horizontal resistance. 343.23 is my next level above that. Again, very bullish here on both the Russell and the Dow. Moving over to Apple and Tesla, you can see Tesla moved up to my next level, 217.14, rejected cleanly off of that level. Still very bullish, but it seems like we might get a little bit of a pullback from that area, similar to what we saw here. Come back down, retest the 9 EMA, throw some wicks, generate a little bit of buying, and then we get a continuation, certainly possible. So key level, 217.14. Apple, on the other hand, gapped up and then dojied on the day, below my 182.28 level, and certainly could go either way, very similar to the NASDAQ. Moving over to staples and discretionary here, you can see both of these on a run. Discretionary coming off of that 72.50 level. Definitely looks nice up to 74. See how it plays out. If that breaks, then we're watching the 200 SMA and 55 EMAs, probably sitting around this 74, 75 area. Discretionary gapped up, rallied, got up to that 158.03 area. We're now between this upper trend line and that horizontal resistance. Momentum still very bullish. RSI looks very bullish. We'll see what happens if we get above that level. We'll need to start identifying some key levels. There are some in here going back to August of 22, and I'll definitely take a look at those on the Sunday video. Moving over to the dollar on the hour and the 12-hour, you can see the dollar rallied pretty much throughout the day, which is interesting. We have markets going much higher, the dollar also going much higher. We're back above 103.64, looking at 104.48. At this point, we could see some sellers in this area. I don't know if we'll make it all the way up to 104.42 or not. Certainly could find sellers around 104.20, maybe 104.28. Back in this previous consolidation, could be met with sellers, and then we end up getting a lower low down around 103. Certainly possible here on the dollar. Momentum is starting to tick back towards bullish, which is interesting. Crossed the 50 line, got back above it here, looking to retest the SMA on RSI. So maybe we see a little bit more bullishness coming through here, but definitely a trend change with a lower low, looking for that lower high setup. Moving over to JNK and TLT, you can see we got the rally with everything else. JNK confirming the rally, but it is at a key resistance at this point, which is interesting. So we have a low, higher low setup, nice little rally. If we get above this area, basically right where we are, start to push up to $92.50 and $93 back in these previous highs, maybe overthrow them. That would be a very big move, and I would think markets would go higher with junk bonds. TLT, on the other hand, selling off. We got the island reversal, gap up, gap down, sell off, looking for support at the 9 EMA, down at 101.54. Moving over to the move and volatility. Moving over to the bond and S&P volatility charts, you can see volatility cratering here today, making some new lows here on the VIX. Broke below my 1490 level. That goes all the way back to these lows here in June of 21 before we had that significant up move. We chopped in this zone for quite a while before we had that move, so definitely doesn't mean we're going to go higher immediately, but it is an interesting level, very strong level, and was a turning point for that bigger move up in 2022. Looking at the move index, you can see we broke down below all of these trend lines now, and it does look like we're going lower. Some horizontal support basically right where we're at. If that breaks down, looking down to around 112.13. Moving over to my accounts, I did fairly well on the day. Had a nice gain on my IRA, back to almost flat on that account. Qs, on the other hand, I got whipsawed around that initial push, dip down, and then rally. If I had held my positions through that dip, I would have been okay, but you never know how that's going to play out, and it was a pretty aggressive down move. I did flip back to bullish once we got back above my level, so I did make some of that money back. You can see quite a bit of green here on the table, but definitely got squeezed on those shares. I knew I should have been more bullish going into the end of day yesterday, and I kind of went overboard with that move, which did hurt me with that whipsaw early in the session. Otherwise, you can see I'm pretty bullish going into Monday. Got some covered calls, and I sold some puts here. Everything looks good going into Monday. Also sold some puts here on the IWM in both accounts. IWM looks very strong going into the Monday session. Let me know down in the comment section what you think of the rally here today. Is it going to hold up? And is this the start of a new bull rally? Definitely like and subscribe if you got any value out of today's video. And make sure you check out the Sunday video. That's where we go much deeper into all of the charts. Definitely hit the bell so you don't miss out on that. Of course, none of this is financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes. Good luck in your trading and have a great day.